Mayor, item 20 is the proposed Vista Business Improvement District Plan. Ms. Carrie Dunphy, the Associate Director of JLP&D, and Mr. Scott Garvin, the Vista Property Owners Organization representative. I know they have additional folks who have come to the meeting and will be able to speak after a presentation and after you open the public hearing, Mr. Mayor. I think they will do their presentation first.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Thank you, City Manager. Thank you, council members. We really appreciate this opportunity to talk about the Vista bid and appreciate your support that you've given us so far. By way of background, my name is Scott Garvin, president of Garvin Design Group, a local architecture firm that's based in the Vista. I've been working and practicing architecture from the Vista for over 30 years. A lot has changed in 30 years. A lot of good things have happened over time, but we all know that we're on the cusp of a lot more activity, a lot more growth, and a lot more development, and we need to get ahead of it. I'm also a developer. I own multiple buildings in the Vista and on Main Street. That's really opened my eyes to the difference in the level of services that a bid can provide, because I see a vast difference in the services that are provided from my properties on Main Street compared to the Vista. I've served on the Main Street District Board for over 4 years, and it's given me an inside look as to how they manage the Vista bid so effectively. The resources they have for clean and safe, for promotion, for marketing. And we've discussed doing a bid in the Vista for some time, and seeing the resources that Main Street has. We've all decided that it's time for us to have the same level of services. Over a year ago, the Vista Property Owners Organization decided to push for a bid. I went to over 20 property owners and I asked them if this was something that they wanted, and they all said it was. We had an initial meeting with city staff and the mayor and discussed the path for a successful bid outcome. Property owners like myself understand the challenge of our property tax basis in Columbia. We all get it. But we're still willing to contribute to the bid because we need those services, and we need them now. We know the bid will improve the experience of people working, living, and visiting the Vista because of what we have seen on Main Street. It's very obvious. I experienced it firsthand, and I'm excited about the opportunity that we can create in the Vista. The Vista Property Owners Organization assembled a steering committee, which you see on the screen. These are developers, bankers, architects that are also Vista property owners. We included the Main Street District staff and Vista Guild staff to help guide this process. Some of them are here to speak if needed. And with the city's approval, we hired JLPD to help us to develop and establish the bid. We had 3 overriding goals. First, provide the resources to strengthen and promote the unique identity of the Vista. Secondly, eliminate any silos that may or may not exist between the Main Street and the Vista so that we can work together collaboratively to improve the core of downtown Columbia. And the third goal was to utilize the model and structure that's already in place, that's already been proven to be successful, and has resulted in an excellent bid for Main Street. So I want to introduce Carrie Dunphy with JLPD, who's going to go through some of the details of our bid.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, council members, for listening to us today. So when we talk about, there we go. So a bid is being proposed for the Vista because it is a proven national model for successful place management. Over 1,000 bids are currently operating in the U.S. in 42 states and the District of Columbia. Under this model, property assessments directly fund supplemental services and are overseen by a private nonprofit organization that is accountable to both the city and to the property owners that pay into that assessment. The Vista's neighbor on Main Street, as Scott was mentioning, is a proven success story. For decades, they have provided a coordinated vision for the district, providing service excellence and a dedicated funding stream that is always 100% reinvested back into the district. All of the funding raised by the assessment never leaves the district where it is taken from. And the Vista is a unique and connected center of activity that really bridges downtown and the waterfront. It has this amazing historical arts legacy and existing well-programmed activity. And the Vista can really build on the momentum that has been established by both the Vista Guild that's been working tirelessly in the district and the property owners to further build a unified leadership and vision. So what will the Vista bid actually do? Clean and safe is really the core priority and the foundation of nearly every bid that functions across the country. The Vista bid will provide the daily experience on the ground with dedicated teams that maintain the public spaces, making it great for everyone who lives, works, owns property, and plays in the district. But bids provide much more than that. They also really reinforce the Vista's identity through events and marketing, enhance the streets with beautification activities and public art, and provide a platform for advocacy and business support and recruitment. The core priorities are really to generate a sustainable funding stream to build a vibrant public realm that is focused on the arts and cultural legacy of the Vista, to create economic opportunities for economic growth, and really have that unified leadership and vision over time. So when we look at the boundaries, the district boundaries include the commercial core and the emerging waterfront district from Taylor to Blossom and from the waterfront to Assembly, carving out the university. So here in this map, the non-exempt properties that would be assessed are in blue, and those exempt properties are in green, which include nonprofit and publicly owned spaces. All of these properties would get the standard assessment, but in addition, recognizing that the commercial core of the Vista really needs a higher level of service, an additional frontage would be assessed on the properties from UG to Assembly and Lady to Senate. A standard assessment of 0.001844 per $1 value would be assessed across all of the properties in the district, and then an additional assessment about $4 per foot of frontage would be assessed on those frontage properties I just discussed. This really follows the current Main Street formula, and this would generate a total estimated revenue about $1.6 million that would be reinvested every year into the Vista. If we were to add the additional hospitality tax contribution that is right now goes to the Vista Guild of about $400,000 a year, that generates $2 million a year that will be used only for the area in the Vista. This is a huge investment in the area that will go to public space development and management. Again, that clean and safe team working on special projects, beautification of the district, a focus on arts, culture, and marketing, ensuring that we are supporting the creatives that are already living and working in the district, making this a great place to work, and of course, administration, making sure that we have a staff capacity on the ground year over year. And then again, the exempt properties are government-owned properties, residential owner-occupied owned properties, and nonprofit properties. Those properties would not pay into the assessment. And stakeholders on the ground have been talking about the type of governance that they would like to see used in the Vista. So this would potentially be a partnership with the City Center Partnership, which is what manages the Main Street District. So it would have that partnership managing both the Main Street and the Vista bid, but with two separate boards, ensuring that the funding raised by each district only gets invested in those specific districts. By combining these two bids, there's really an efficiency in services, being able able to cover overhead and other portions to really make sure that the majority of the funding gets invested into the Vista. So we've submitted the improvement plan for your review that includes these items, and we thank you for considering the bid in the Vista and look forward to hearing comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do you have anybody signed up to speak for or against this item?
Sir, we have several individuals signed up to speak, with the first one being Mr. Dale Marshall. As he comes forward, we will remind speakers that there is a 3-minute time limit.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dale Marshall. I'm an architect in the Vista. I've been down here for 39 years at this point and have watched miraculous growth, miraculous investment. Things get so much better, but there's still the opportunity for more. And we're at an inflection point, and this establishment of a BID gives us the opportunity to take into account all that's going to happen in the next decade or decade and a half. If you look at the stuff that's going on along the riverfront, we were meeting last week about the new park down there. If you look at the number of projects that have happened, the well north of $1 billion of work that's happened in the last 15 years, this bid goes to support that work. This is the next step to allow us to manage all the growth we've had and to create a place where people who come in see a beautiful, clean, well-maintained, thoughtfully designed, thoughtfully executed place to live, work, play, enjoy the arts. So we ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Clerk?
Beth Frost.
Thank you, Mayor Rickman, City Council, Ms. Wilson, for allowing me to speak this afternoon on behalf of the Vista bid. My name is Beth Frost. I currently sit as the president of the Vista Board of Directors. I wanted to highlight that the Vista Guild has been active in the Vista District for over 40 years. The Vista Guild has been instrumental in bringing more attention and publicity to the district since its inception through efforts of destination marketing, events like Artista Vista, which is this weekend, Vista Lights, and more. In 2015, in partnership with the city, the Vista Guild has led the charge in becoming an official South Carolina cultural district. For the last 11 years, the Vista Guild has managed a clean and safe program with limited funding. We take pride in what we have been able to accomplish with our clean and safe program, but we know that with the support of a new business improvement district, we would be able to expand that opportunity and really try to grow that opportunity because of the thriving, growing district that we have in the Vista. So thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Christy Fossum.
Hello again, Christy Fossum from Shandon, and I spoke with you all in early January about the lack of long-distance bus travel from Columbia these days, and I'm here to follow up on that. At that time, Mayor Rickenman, you mentioned that there perhaps was some conversation with Amtrak about sharing that space. I haven't been able to find anything going on there. Subsequently, I called back, and Amy Ramirez was very helpful communicating with you about my concern, and you recommended that I check with code enforcement about contact information for a bus company or somebody that I could get a clear picture of what's going on. So I called them, and they referred me to zoning, and they referred me to business licensing, who said that they're very nice people, but they were not free to give that information. So I'm here again with 3 questions about this issue. I'm wondering, hoping that maybe there's some new information about any initiatives going on to get a bus terminal back in our capital city. This is really a hardship on many people with limited resources. And I'm still seeking contact information so that I can be informed and do what I can to make progress here. And my second question is that it's my impression as a bus passenger that Southeastern Stages and Greyhound Partners, whoever, have the ridership here. They just can't get a place, property to have a pickup and drop off. So I would like to know if that is the right picture. And my third question is, I volunteered to be on a citizens advisory committee if such a thing exists or is helpful, and I would like to know if that is a thing, and if there might be an opportunity. I'm talking to more and more people who have this concern, and could we be of service to try and get this problem solved?
One, there is some conversations with Amtrak. There's some federal funding, and, you know, obviously it's in the beginning of the stages. Number two, I would tell you that Southeastern Freight, not Southeastern Freight Lines, but Southeastern, the stagecoach company, had opportunity to go to multiple locations around the city. Our economic development folks worked with them to look at different sites. They chose a site that wasn't on the list, and that site also created massive problems for all the neighboring communities, and they weren't really there helpful. So however we move down the road here to look at, which I think our transit authority is also looking into long-term intermodal and how that will play into the future, I think we have to make sure that wherever and if one comes back, that the proper security, the proper operations take place, because just having a service that creates more problems, service calls by police and et cetera, having neighbors being disturbed and others is not a desirable. But there is a need, like you said. So we'll follow up with the Amtrak and the others, and Amy has your contact so we can get in contact with you. This is probably a good conversation that we'll have more with our transit authority about getting them involved, and also going back and looking at the sites that were selected before. Are they still available for that? And those were places that would be zoned correctly, but also create a proper drop-off and pickup area for those passengers. So we'll get back to you on that.
Good. I have a vision of a beautiful transit building that serves all the citizens well with federal funding or whatever it will take. And of course, the sooner the better. It's been, I think, 18, 20 months since we've had this kind of transportation.
Well, it hadn't been that long. They just moved not too long ago from West
Beltline?
Beltline. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I
That
thought
hadn't
that
been that
was,
long.
yeah.
But
All right. And again, thank all of you for your hard work and the challenges that you face for.
thank you for being
good.
engaged.
All right, Mayor, we have 2 additional individuals signed up for the Vista bid.
Okay.
Ms. Lee Decker, looks like Carolyn Lee Decker, and then she'll be followed by Matt Kennel.
Good afternoon, City Council members.
Good evening.
I'm Carolyn Lee Decker. I'm the president of the Vista Neighborhood Association. We are very supportive of the Vista bid project. We see the project as a way to foster growth and continue to strengthen our neighborhood values. We live here, and we feel very protective of the Vista because it is our home 24/7. We don't get to go home somewhere else and come back the next day. We're here. It's our home. We hope a major priority will be to support the history culture and arts that is the foundation of the Vista, and ensure that it remains a unique destination for the arts. I would also like to ask for your consideration to place a Vista resident on the bid board, because our residents matter just as much as the property owners and others in the Vista matter, and we would like to have a say as well as your other partners. Thank you.
Matt Kennel.
Hello. Greetings, Mayor, City Council, City Manager, and City Attorney. I just wanted to speak on behalf of the City Center Partnership, known as the Main Street District, to let you know that we totally support this. We have benefited from a bid for now 25 years. We've seen what it can do for the community. Our leadership, our board members, the property owners continue to be supportive of that. And we have no doubt that it will be very successful for the Vista. We also see us as partners. We work with the Vista now regularly. We see this as a step forward for the city to unite, tear down silos, connect the two areas. And we just simply think it'd be a very solid thing for the city, and would encourage you to approve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. No one else has signed up.
All right.
Thank you.
We will close the public hearing.
Be an ordinance for first reading at the next meeting on
The next
April
meeting.
21st.
Yeah.
Madam Clerk, I'd like the record to reflect that I think that was our 7th thank you of the year.
Yes, sir. Duly noted.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, I have a referral on thank you notes that I'll make at the end of the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Teamwork.
Moving into ordinances, first reading, item 20.